Recording.
Hey.
Okay. I'm Emma. I'm going to be Jill during this role play.
Great, and I'm Carrie Ann, and I'm going to play the role of the behavioral health consultant working on the intervention with Emma.
Perfect.
Who's playing Jill.
Okay.
Well, hi, Jill. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too.
I appreciate you coming in today. Before you leave, I was wondering if you'd be willing to talk a little bit about your drinking.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Well, earlier you filled out a questionnaire. Do you recall that?
Yeah, I do.
It looks kind of like this.
Yeah.
Okay. You should have a copy next to you.
Yeah, I do. I'll pull it out.
Okay, fantastic. I really appreciate you filling this out. I just wanted to go over a few things and talk about the results with you. So that's okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So on I just want to go over the couple ones that you circled. And number 1 through 3. One you said how often do you have a drink containing alcohol, and you responded 2 to 3 times a week. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And then in number 2, you mentioned, says, how many drinks containing alcohol do you have in a typical day when you're drinking? And you wrote, you circled 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, that's great. And number 3, you said, how often do you have 6 or more drinks on an occasion? And you circled weekly. Is that?
Yes, that's
sound right? Okay.
Yeah.
And you also had said, down on the last 2, under number 9, you had said, have you or someone else been injured because of your drinking?
Yeah.
And you circled yes during the last year. Okay. And number 10 was, has a relative, friend, or doctor or other healthcare worker been concerned about your drinking or suggested that you cut down in the last year?
Yeah, my son thinks that I drink too much.
Okay. So, okay. I'm gonna, since we talked about going through over that, I just wanted to sit back and share a few of my concerns with you. On this, I have a little little handout card that shows kind of what the low risk drinking, how much a person can have of alcohol based on whether or not they're female or male, just based on their physiological tolerance to alcohol. And you scored into the range or level of level 3, which is considered a harmful level of drinking. When you hear that, what does that make you? How do you respond to that when you hear that it's a harmful level?
I guess I've never really thought about it that way because I haven't really seen it as a problem. But I guess I have started drinking more recently over the last couple of years.
Okay. Is there something changed in the last couple of years that has increased your amount of alcohol intake?
Yeah, I recently got divorced. It kind of helps me deal with the loneliness too. I just moved and I've only lived here for like 4 months and I just don't know anyone and I get pretty lonely.
And you mentioned too that you mentioned briefly you have a son?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, he thinks that I should like get a hobby or something.
Well, when you think about what he says, how old is your son?
He's 20.
Oh, okay. So, do you live in your home alone?
Right now, I do.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when your son shows concerns, what about your behavior has made him concerned and asked you to think about?
Well, about 6 months ago, I fell and fractured my arm, and that was kind of due to my drinking because I tripped and fell. And that's when he started saying that I should cut down. But I guess I get pretty lonely, and it's really, I go out after work to a pub that's really close to my house, and I'm able to be around people there. So it 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 just helps me.
Okay. Well, it seems I can see that you have a lot of new changes. But you said you've just been in this new location for how long?
4 months.
Did you say 4 months? Okay. And so you're looking to, in the past, before your drinking had gotten more, your use increased, did you have more friends or people that you were able to socialize outside of bars and pubs?
Yeah, and I was also still in my relationship, so we had a lot of friends that were couples, and um, it just, I kind of lost touch with people that I spent a lot of time with when I was married. So, and all those people that are in relationships just don't really understand, and it just got pretty isolating. So, I I just think I lost touch with a lot of people.
Okay. And so have you the fall you mentioned 6 months ago? Have you considered that there might be some type of a connection between that and your drinking?
I'm kind of starting to, and maybe that is also why my hypertension is high. But um, I guess, yeah, that kind of makes me think of it as a problem.
Well, it's great that you're thinking about connecting the two, because they definitely do have a correlation of people are higher risk of falling when they're intoxicated, and hypertension has been shown to be linked to um, cut down on drinking or reduce the amount of drinking. Relief in symptoms has been shown to occur. Um, so on this, bring back your attention to this little card right here. I recommend that people try to reduce. So you have a copy of this. So ideally, we'd be that people are maintaining low risk drinking limits, which for a woman would be about 7 drinks a week, no more than 3 drinks per day. However, you are that's the ideal. But you had mentioned that you have had thoughts about cutting down some drinking, maybe, but and your son's your health is important to you, which is great. So on a scale of 1 to 10, being 0 that you're not interested in cutting down at all, and 10 being I want to cut down today, where do you feel like you fall on the scale?
I think I'm a 9.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you be a 9 versus maybe say a 7 or an 8?
My relationship with my son is really important, and I want to, and my health is really important. I just want to try to preserve those two things. So if I can do that, I guess I would be a 9.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I hear you say your relationship with your son is very important to you. You said that many times, in addition to your health, which are great to hear. Now, as far as not drinking at all, like actually stopping, have you considered abstinence and just not drinking?
Not really. Not that hasn't been a thought yet.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask the same kind of question of 0 being you haven't at all ever thought about never drinking, and 10 being I want to really stop drinking completely. Where would you think you'd fall on that scale?
I would say a 3.
Okay. And what would keep you from saying 0? You had mentioned that you really didn't think about it earlier.
Well, maybe I could talk to someone and get some support to think about it more. But I don't know. I don't think that I need to stop altogether.
Okay.
So.
But it does sound like you're very motivated to reduce some of your drinking.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
We have that right. Oh, fantastic. And when you say, and what are you thinking about changing right now? Like in your behavior regarding drinking?
I think I could have less glasses of wine when I'm at the pub down the street. Maybe not letting myself have more than 3 or 4 instead of 5 or 6. Starting to cut back down the amount.
And just to kind of get an idea, when you say a glass, did you say you were drinking wine as your drink of choice?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And when you have a glass of wine, how many ounces? Like when you do you drink out of a wine glass?
Yeah, I prefer red wine, which is in those like stem glasses, and it just depends. I've gotten to know the bartenders there pretty well, so they're pretty generous, and I feel like they pour me more than they do other people. So I'm not exactly sure how many ounces.
So when you okay, so when it says that you would drink on a typical day 5 to 6 glasses of wine, it's possible that is more than a 5-ounce serving, which is about this much of a glass. Okay, here's a kind of a demonstration of what a 5-ounce glass would look like in balance with the actual glass. Would you say yours is about filled up that much, or would you say yours is filled more?
Maybe a little bit more.
Maybe half more, double more?
Maybe like a quarter more. Just a little bit.
Okay, so it's pretty close. So if you said how many glasses, if you're going from like 2 to 3 times a week, you're drinking 5 to 6 glasses, and you're talking about cutting that in half to 3 glasses. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I think I could try doing that.
Well, that's fantastic. That's a substantial improvement. So do you have any other things? You mentioned your son talked about hobbies or other ways to maybe take up your time versus going to the bar, maybe socializing. Do you have any other ideas about what you might do with that?
I like to read, so maybe I could join a book club or find other ways to make friends. So I'm not always going to the pub when I feel lonely.
Okay. Would that be something that you might consider working on in the next few weeks before we see each other again?
Yeah, I would like to try that.
Okay. So sometimes when people want to make changes, in your case, you had mentioned that you really are motivated to cut down on your drinking and trying to find some other ways to engage socially. It's helpful to write down their goals. And so let's go ahead and would you be open to like just kind of jotting them down so we can see them in black and white and give that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, and so from what I just to summarize, is it okay if I just go ahead and summarize what I think I heard about our conversation? Is that you're very motivated to change and cut back on your drinking substantially. You're highly motivated. You're not quite sure if that would even include being completely abstinent, but I think it's a fantastic start at going ahead and just shoot back. So sounds like you'd be willing to research maybe some reading clubs that maybe you could join to maybe meet some people that maybe don't doesn't include meeting just in a place where drinking is kind of the main social activity. And then actually cutting down from 3 glasses of wine, basically cutting your drinking in half when you go out. Does that sound like something?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try doing that.
You want to shoot for?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay, fantastic. So, I think it's a great place to start, and I commend you at taking a look at this behavior and how it could help improve your benefit all areas of your life, physically and socially. And I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Not right now. I'm gonna look forward to trying out these goals, and hopefully I can